What happens when you combine a 7-foot frame with the shooting touch of a guard, the mindset of a killer, and the heart of someone who refuses to be denied? You get Kevin Wayne Durant, the man they call the Slim Reaper. But KD's impact on basketball goes far beyond his otherworldly scoring ability. Today, we're going to be breaking down how one of the most unique players in NBA history changed the game forever, redefined what it means to be a superstar in the social media age, and why his legacy might be more complex and fascinating than any other player of his generation. Kevin Durant entered the NBA in 2007 as something that basketball had never quite seen before. At 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan, he moved like a guard, but towered over defenders like a center. His rookie season gave us glimpses of what was coming. A player who could pull up from 30 feet or drive past anyone who tried to guard him. But here's what made KD truly revolutionary. He wasn't just tall for a shooter, he was perfect for a shooter. That textbook form, the high release point that made his shot virtually unblockable, and a mentality that said, I'm taking this shot regardless of who's in front of me. Traditional basketball logic said that players his size should live in the paint. Durant said, watch me score from anywhere I want. The numbers from his early years tell the story. By his third season, he was averaging 30 points per game. By his fourth, he became the youngest scoring champion in NBA history at just 21 years old. He wasn't just good, he was rewriting what we thought was possible from someone his size. What separated Durant from other elite scorers was his efficiency. This wasn't volume shooting for the sake of numbers. KD was hitting shots at percentages that defied logic for someone taking the degree of difficulty shots he was attempting. Pull-up threes in transition, fadeaway jumpers over double teams, drives through traffic, everything looked effortless. The Oklahoma City Thunder years established Durant as a legitimate superstar, but they also revealed the burden of greatness. Alongside Russell Westbrook and James Harden, KD was part of a young core that looked destined for multiple championships. The 2012 finals appearance against Miami showed the world that this wasn't just about individual brilliance. Durant could elevate his teammates and carry a franchise. But those Thunder years also highlighted basketball's cruel reality. Being great isn't always enough. The 2016 Western Conference Finals against Golden State became a defining moment. Up 3-1 against the 73-win Warriors, the Thunder had the dynasty in their grasp. Durant was magnificent through that series. But basketball's a team sport, and sometimes the shots don't fall. Sometimes the breaks don't go your way. That series loss would reshape everything that followed. The criticism was immediate and harsh. Questions about Durant's ability to close out series, about his mentality in clutch moments, about whether he could be the guy on a championship team. For a player who had given everything to Oklahoma City, who had been loyal through years of roster changes and close calls, the aftermath felt like a betrayal by the very fans who had cheered his every basket. July 4th, 2016. Independence Day became something entirely different for basketball fans when Kevin Durant announced that he was joining the Golden State Warriors. The reaction was instantaneous and volcanic. The same fans who had celebrated his loyalty in Oklahoma City now branded him as the ultimate villain. But here's what gets lost in the narrative. Durant's decision wasn't just about winning championships. It was about finding joy in basketball again. The Warriors represented everything that the Thunder hadn't been. Ball movement, spacing, a system that maximized his unique talents instead of asking him to carry impossible burdens night after night. The criticism was relentless. Cupcake, soft, can't win without a super team. Social media became a battleground, and Durant found himself at the center of every debate about competitiveness, loyalty, and what it means to be great in professional sports. What made this decision so polarizing wasn't just that he joined a great team, it's that he joined the team that had just beaten him. In an era where we celebrate loyalty and so-called homegrown championships, Durant chose a different path. He chose optimization over sentiment, and basketball fans struggled to process that choice. The basketball world wanted to see Durant fail at Golden State. Instead, they watched him reach heights that seemed impossible even for someone of his caliber. 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and some of the most clutch performances in NBA Finals history. The 2017 Finals against Cleveland showcased everything that Durant had become. Game 3's dagger 3 over LeBron James wasn't just a shot, it was a statement. This was KD at his most ruthless, his most inevitable. When the biggest moments arrived, he didn't shrink, he expanded. But perhaps more impressive than the individual moments was how seamlessly Durant integrated into the Warriors system. This was supposed to be the challenge. How do you fit a ball-dominant scorer into the most unselfish offensive system in basketball? The answer was that Durant elevated everyone around him while somehow becoming even more efficient himself. His 2019 playoff run, played largely on one leg due to his calf injury, showed a different side of his greatness. This wasn't the smooth, effortless KD we were used to seeing. This was someone literally limping through games, willing his team to victories through pure determination. The Achilles injury in the finals was heartbreaking, not just because of what it meant for his career, but because it represented a player giving absolutely everything for his team. The post-Warriors chapter of Durant's career has been about proving that he is still that same unstoppable force, just in different contexts. Brooklyn was supposed to be where KD, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden formed a super team to rival anything the league had seen. Instead, it became a masterclass in how talent alone isn't enough. But through all the drama, the injuries, the roster changes, Durant remained Durant. His 2021 playoff performance against Milwaukee, where he nearly single-handedly beat the eventual champions, reminded everyone why he was still considered one of the most dangerous players alive. That Game 7 shot that rimmed out, if that goes in, we might be talking about one of the greatest individual playoff runs ever. The move to Phoenix represented yet another reinvention. Here was a player in his mid-30s, still adapting his game, still finding new ways to impact winning. The Suns haven't gotten over the hump yet, but Durant's presence immediately elevated them from pretender to contender status. Now, beyond basketball, Durant pioneered how NBA superstars interact with fans and critics in the social media age. His Twitter presence became legendary. Sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes not. The burner account saga was embarrassing, but it also revealed something deeply human about even the most elite athletes. KD showed us that superstars read everything, feel everything, and sometimes can't help but respond to criticism. In an era where athletes are expected to be perfect public figures, Durant's social media usage was refreshingly authentic, even when it wasn't flattering. His willingness to engage directly with fans, critics, and media broke down barriers that had existed for decades. Love it or hate it, Durant changed how we expect athletes to communicate with the public. So what is Kevin Durant's true impact on basketball? First, he redefined what's possible for players his size. Every tall guard in today's NBA owes something to KD's blueprint. Players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, and Paolo Banchero all benefit from the path Durant carved. Statistically, his resume is undeniable. Multiple scoring titles, finals MVPs, Olympic gold medals, and a scoring average that will likely land him in the top 10 all time when he retires. But numbers only tell part of the story. Durant's real impact is in how he changed our understanding of basketball versatility. He proved that positions are just suggestions, that skill transcends size, and that the most dangerous player on any given night might just be the one who refuses to be categorized. His influence extends beyond the court. The way he handled free agency, while controversial, opened up conversations about player empowerment that continue today. His social media presence, for better or worse, showed a generation of athletes that they don't have to accept criticism silently. Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, remains one of basketball's most fascinating figures. He's simultaneously loved and hated, respected and criticized, celebrated and scrutinized. But perhaps that's exactly what makes his impact so significant. In a sport often defined by traditional narratives about loyalty, leadership, and legacy, Durant wrote his own story. He chose his own path, played by his own rules, and forced us all to reconsider what we expect from our sports heroes. Whether you love them or hate them, one thing is undeniable. Basketball is different because Kevin Durant existed. And maybe, in the end, that's the highest compliment you can pay any player. Now, what do you think defines KD's legacy? Subscribe for more.